Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of My Hero Academia Season 5, which is on episode 17, or episode 105 of the total number of episodes, Anyways, this episode right here was actually nice for me, and I could see a lot of people. Honestly, I've been seeing a lot of discussions and comments that people really hated or say this episode's boring, which I can understand why, and I know where they're coming from. But for me, I think it was really nice and enjoyable in a certain sense because what I think of what's to come, So, yeah, despite that, let's just get this started right away. We have to it, of course, the narration always opens up with Deku talking about, like, how things are within Endeavor's hero agency whatsoever, and of course we have to it that Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo almost gotten their hands on a criminal, but unfortunately Endeavor was like 1 or 2 steps ahead of them, and this gotten them really upset, which I can understand where they're coming from. But hey man, you're talking about this guy who's becoming #1. He's able to like solve the situations before like the incident can really happen right away, that kind of thing. But that aside, Endeavor can remember, like, after like almost a day's work for the young ones, Endeavor tells Bakugo, Deku, and Todoroki to go rest for the next day. I don't want your fatigue to get the best of you of what's to come. And we have to it eventually. Endeavor goes back to his headquarters, and tries to figure out what to do next, because he could remember like the codes written inside the book that Hawks gave him, like we are facing the Meta Liberation Army that numbers over 100,000, at least 100,000 or something, or more, possibly even more. That aside, we have to it that Endeavor like gets a call from Fuyumi, saying like hey, is it possible for you to like invite Shoto's friends over, for dinner or something? That'd be great, I mean, this is a great opportunity kind of thing for tomorrow night. Which I go like, oh, that's pretty nice and slick, I could see that Fuyumi still wants to try to help out, and Endeavor can remember his consequence of his past, want to change things around, and I could see where this is coming from. The guy's like a great hero and all, but he's a really horrible parent. There's no denying that. I can still remember that. I mean, we all seen bits and parts of like Shoto's past here and there, and many people are getting sick of it. For me, I think it's sometimes necessary to try to get the pieces together, even though it's annoying. That aside, Endeavor continues to try to remembers having a dream every time, and like I said, he remembers his like conversations and moments where he talked with Natsuo, how Natsuo like dissed him off, saying that you make me sick, that I don't care if you're #1 hero and take down an enemy, that doesn't mean you could like that doesn't mean you ever patch things up with us. You got that? Etc. And as for Fuyumi, she seems like a very good kind of a older sister, man. I can't believe I'm starting to fall for her already, And, she's a kindergarten teacher, which we find out later after she introduced herself, that kind of thing. And, next day comes about, etc. Bakugo, Izuku, and Shoto ends up trying to work with Endeavor, but unfortunately they still can't catch up. But little by little, small steps at a time, they will get better and better in terms of what they're doing here, in terms of like catching up. Eventually, at nighttime the next day, Fuyumi introduced herself. Midoriya like gives out the big muttering of like, hey, what's up? My name's Midoriya Izuku and Shoto's friend, that kind of thing. I'm sorry I injured your little brother, kind of thing, and etc. We have to that the dinner seems really like tense, and and it's kind of nice to see how friends and certain families of the Todoroki family like having fun in the life, having fun, with the exception of Bakugo. I mean, we all know how the hell that guy is. We have to, of course, like Izuku and Bakugo does feel a little annoyed. Bakugo and Izuku do feel tense every time like something personal happened in the Todoroki family, that kind of thing. And we have to it that it kind of gotten a little like ugly every second of it, how Natsuo talks about like we had a maid once who did a lot of cooking and Fuyumi took over. I did some cooking too, but it was always heavily seasoned, that kind of thing. And Natsuo could still remember like how Endeavor's like, hey, don't eat that, Shoto, you know, that kind of thing. And of course, Natsuo, you know, the guy is like, whatchamacallit, he couldn't really stay around for too long and just left after he finished his first bowl of rice, which I go, oh man, I can see where this guy's coming from. And the guy just like, I can't do this, One-chan, I gotta get going. And he bounced, you know, that kind of thing. He just bounced. And of course, Fuyumi, she's like a very good kind of a character, you know, trying to help out, you know, trying to like fix things up, but things don't go the way you want it to, and that's just life, you know, that kind of thing. And we have to, of course, like Izuku and Bakugo end up talking a little small personal stuff about some things here and there, about like how Bakugo knows about like Todoroki's family, and Kakchan or Bakugo is like, well, you guys were the ones who talked about where I could hear. And that's when we go back to like season 2 of Hero Academia, you know, when Bakugo like might have accidentally eavesdropped or dropped in about Todoroki's family, you know, which I could see why Bakugo might be sensitive and understanding of Todoroki's family, you know, that kind of thing. But I guess you know how his personality is back then, you know, he that's when he wasn't as he doesn't show like a weakness or soft side to anyone. He just tries to show that he's okay, he's strong, you know, that kind of thing. And we have to it, of course, like when it comes, of course, like Bakugo and Deku ends up accidentally eavesdropping on Todoroki and Fuyumi's conversation about like the situation, you know. Of course, Shoto's like, I can't just forgive Dad easily, man. That's not the case for me right now. No way, no effing way, etc. So I understand Natsuo where he's coming from, you know. And we have to it that like Todoroki says, you know the scar here. I feel like I got that from my own father, you know, that kind of thing. He's the one that made it, you know. And of course, like there's a scene where like that's a little omitted, but a little bit there, the conversation, you know, compared to the manga, where after Todoroki's mother threw hot pot water onto Todoroki's face, Shoto's face, she ends up having to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. In the manga, it became a little bit more explicit, where like Shoto's mother ends up using her ice powers to cool down the wound, you know, etc. You know, that kind of thing. And we have to it that like you know how Shoto's getting letters from his mother kind of thing, and things are progressing smoothly. She could be discharged very soon, you know, hopefully live with Natsuo and Fuyumi again kind of thing. And we have to it that Bakugo ends up interrupting, and Izuku tries to calm down Kakchan, you know, and Kakchan's like, look man, stop, let's get the dishes done, and don't talk about things about like that's always easily heard all over the house or something, okay? Come on. You really ruined the mapo tofu kind of thing, etc. And we have to it that Midoriya therefore tells Shoto like, hey, I think you're ready to forget. I think you're getting ready to forgive him. You know, if you really hated him, you didn't have to forgive him. I mean, the way I look at it, I mean, you're just waiting for the right moment. Natsuo and possibly even Endeavor is overhearing this right now, and we have to it Endeavor ends up talking to a certain memorial, you know, because like you know, this guy. Then we get to see a place of Endeavor talking about the same dream he had in this episode. You know, how he sees like his family, Rei, Fuyumi, Natsuo, Shoto are enjoying themselves. Those small little times of happiness is what he dreams about, but he's not even there. So we have to it that he says, I wish you could have been there with them, Toya. And yeah, we get to see a picture of Toya at a memorial, like memorial, you know, and I can see where Endeavor is coming from, and etc. Then we get to see a preview of we get to see a post-credit scene, a preview of next episode, you know, that kind of thing, etc. And the next episode is called The Unforgiven. So I thought it was a really nice episode, and people are not really enjoying season 5 at all. I could see it. I understand it. It must be really annoying, especially last episode. It really dissed off a lot of people, as I can imagine and I can understand. Really, I do, call me crazy Milanakis for trying to back up season 5, but season 5's adapting its stuff correctly, you know. Even though it is a little upsetting and weird to see how Bones are switching things up, or someone behind the scenes says, hey, we gotta switch this up, you know, that kind of thing to make it flow, but it's kind of still annoying, you know. But whatever the case may be, I'll just take it for what it is here and there. But that aside, I thought the episode was really nice, you know, in a certain way. I mean, depending on your point of view, if you want action and you want something different and you find it boring here and there, guess you had your fair share of watching too many action shows and not going the way you wanted to, you know. That aside, yeah, I'm still really looking forward to, like, next episode, The Unforgiven, and, you know, Endeavor's, and we get to see Toya, you know. I mean, that kid looked like he was in his teenage years, that kind of thing. But whatever the case is, guess we won't be able to, like, understand the situation fully. But yeah. Anyways, looking forward to next episode, like I said, and repeating myself over and over again, you know. But yeah, so until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!